Get ready for the dictation. Get ready. Start. Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, respected leader of the House Shri Arun Jaitley, respected leader of the opposition Shri Ghulam Nabi Azad, Honorable Deputy Chairman Shri P.J. Kurian, Honorable Ministers and distinguished members of the August House. When I first entered this August House as a member in 1998, I never had even the faintest of the idea that one day I would have the honor of presiding over as its chairperson. This is the beauty and majesty of our parliamentary democracy and its strength as well. It can lift a commoner like me to such an exalted position and offer opportunities to discharge wondrous responsibilities that go with this position. I am truly humbled by the honor bestowed on me by the honorable members of Parliament by electing me as the Vice President of India, by the virtue of which I have been charged with the responsibility of Chairperson of Rajya Sabha. I am grateful to all the concerned for reposing faith and confidence in me and entrusting such responsibility to me. At the outset, I would like to assure all of you that it shall be my endeavor to live up to your expectations. Before I elaborate on my thoughts as the chairperson of this august house, I would like to briefly reflect on the origin and the role of this Federal Chamber of Parliament of India. With its roots in the Montagu-Chelmsford Report of 1918, the Council of States first came into being in 1921, further to the Government of India Act 1919 as a second chamber of the then legislature with a restricted franchise. Subsequently, there were extensive debates on the need for this house in the Constituent Assembly. It was considered that a single directly elected house would be inadequate to meet the challenges before free India. Accordingly, Council of States was created as a federal chamber, that is, house elected by elected members. An element of dignity and prestige was accorded to this chamber by making the Vice President of India the ex officio chairman of the House. The learned members of the Constituent Assembly envisaged this chamber as a house of reflective and evaluating reasoning. Late Sri N. Gopalaswamy Iyengar termed as a house which can rein in passions of the moment. Late Sri Loknath Mishra described it as a sobering house, a reviewing house, a house standing for quality, and the members will exercise their right to be heard on the merit of what they say, for their sobriety and knowledge of special problems. This House of Elders is meant to ensure federal equilibrium and equanimity in legislation. A provision has also been made to nominate a good number of knowledgeable persons from different walks of life to further enrich the debates. This House is also expected to protect the interests of the states in the federal scheme of things. This goes to prove that this august House has a clear mandate to perform, provided the members do not desire, even if unintentionally, to reduce its role to that of a superfluous and irrelevant one, as is already being referred to in some quarters in a muted manner. It is a choice in the hands of the honorable members. As the world's largest democracy and fastest growing economy, our country needs efficient and effective legislation to administer its processes, mobilize resources, build partnerships, ensure socio-economic equality, etc. Honorable members, time is not on our side. Even after 70 years of independence, we are grappling with basic issues of poverty, illiteracy, inequality, agrarian and rural development challenges, abuse of power, etc., even as some countries similarly placed at the time of our attaining freedom are marching ahead with a lot more focus and a sense of urgency, marshalling their energies in a much better manner. For the success of an individual, institution, or a nation, time management is crucial. We do not have the luxury of time. We need to make up for the lost opportunities over the last 7 decades if our country were to realize its full potential given its huge stock of human and natural resources and other advantages. This august House meets for much less than 100 days per year. Should the honorable members not make the best use of this available time in furtherance of the cause of our country and the people? The choice is to be made by the enlightened members. We take pride in our diversity and the unity that flows from it. If that be the case, cannot we be united in the pursuit of common national goals and in enabling the young India realize its aspirations? Our democratic policy allows flourishing of different ideas and thoughts on a range of socio-economic issues. But adversarial politics should not be allowed to adversely impact the functioning of Parliament, which in turn impacts the progress of our nation. Political democracy is a sacred instrument for pursuit of national interests, but a fractious polity finding its echo in the legislatures impedes the forward march of our country and the people. No chamber of our parliamentary democracy can be allowed to be an extension of such fractious polity. Stop.